Today's scripture, Luke chapter 20, verse 38. Now he is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for all live to him. When I was young, I didn't like myself. How about you? You like yourself? Oh yeah, you're happy. You're a happy person. I didn't like myself, but the reason was very apparent, specific characteristics. I have three things which made me dislike myself. The first one is depression. The most serious time was my sophomore in the university. At the time, after finished the class, immediately I came to home and go to bed, sleep.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, as long as I remember, that symptom has been started even by 7 years old. At the time, my parents was attended to the prayer meeting in the dawn time, 4 o'clock in the morning, wake up. At the time, with the noise, because of noise, I wake up and suffering, struggling from that kind of depression feeling. But after entering the school, just forgot about it for a while until high school, because all the curriculum and the situation of the school is whole different from the American school. So it's very squeezed, fixed. It's given every situation. And so I just follow the instruction curriculum. But after entering the college, all those things given as a freedom. So it was very chaotic situation for me. Anyway, that kind of things, that the feeling of depression has been gone dramatically after having the faith has been improved. That the Lord is not transport to another space, kingdom of heaven or something like that. Instead of that, the meaning of the ascension is to be our innermost being, to make the unification, something like that. After realizing that kind of understanding, I have felt that kind of feeling of depression just gone. It's true, that's my testimony. Anyway, interestingly, later I make announcement or like a testimony in the sermon. At the time after the sermon finished, my mom came to me sharing her experience, exactly the same idea, the depression. But in her case, she has a reason to have the depression feeling. That because in the war, Korean War, she was 15 years old, young girl. So it was not safe to stay at home because he was in the country, in the mountains, Gangwon province. So in the morning, Korean army occupy. In the night, the North Korean army occupied. So it's very dangerous situation. So she escaped from, she followed the Korean army for the safety and the security. So she has been grown up after that like an orphan. Even she has parents and grandparents on there, but there is no connection at all until she got married. So after she got married, she returned to the hometown and have a meeting, reunion. But until that time, every autumn season, like Thanksgiving or something, she feel kind of a feeling of depression very seriously. Interestingly, I didn't have any situation to feel kind of depression, even 7 years old. So later I found in another theory, that is epigenetics. All those obtained characteristic is to be inherited to 3 or 4 generations, like a habit or diet, lifestyle, or something like that. Even the emotional situation as well. So in the science, they report that kind of phenomena as a kind of a genetic or epigenetic or something like that, but there is no solution how to overcome that kind of a bad situation, inheritance or something like that. But in our case, in my case, I experienced to be restored from the feeling of the depression, and when I said about that to the audience, and my mom shared about that kind of the same feeling of the restoration with the same idea of the unification with the Lord. That has been happened around 5 or 4 years ago, but that is the first thing, depression. The second one is when I'm gonna say something more deep part of my emotion, no choice but to weep, cry, even in front of people. And recently I found that there is a more deep part of anger in my temper. So if we have the fire or anger in my personality in the base, then the reaction is overreact. So last Sunday when I make the sermon in Korean in front of Korean congregation, the title was about the maturity in our faith, something like that. It's a very proper and the reason, rationality. But while I'm saying about that, I felt I got angry, no reason, more hyper activity in the anger representation. So after that, through the whole week, I felt kind of shameful or guilty or something like that. And additionally, I got the idea, why is more overacting? Why? And finally, I got the conviction, the perception. Oh, there is a kind of a deep part of the unsolved anger in my mind. And the second one is kind of weeping or crying in front of people. And the third one is the anger, deeper anger. Yeah. That 3 different kind of characteristic of my personality was the factors to dislike myself. But that kind of weeping or something like that, I have been stand as a teacher for 15 years, and for the last more than 30 years, I have been standing in the pupil to make the sermon or something like that. But anyway, I cannot remember what was the last time to cry in front of people. But I mentioned about the epigenetic inheritance from my mom, kind of depression feeling. Like that, I thought my deeper anger is because of the kind of my kind of disability or something in my youth age. But at the same time, I found the same kind of attitude and temper from my dad. He has escaped from his family, not his, is kind of complicated. That generation is a very suffering generation through the whole history of Korean people. Additionally, his family, mom and 3 children, escaped from the situation of their family because of the Christianity. he is the heir, the first son. So no choice but to take care every offering, the ancestors, 12 or 13 or something like that. And there is contradiction, the Christianity faith and all kind of attitude, the offering, sacrifice or something like that. His mom, my grandmother, decided to run away from that situation. So all the lineage book of lineage, every Korean people have the book of lineage of their family, and put it in front of the door of another family member, and escape from, run away in the midnight. So after that, they have suffered from kind of finance and manage of their life. And he was about middle school age, my father. So all those household, the father job, because my grandfather has been passed away even before that time. Must be overwhelmed, kind of living and finance, all those things has been suppressed in his deeper part as like an anger, and that kind of facial attitude is to cry. Yeah. So when I saw his attitude in front of the people, sermon has been anointed to make the sermon in some day when I was young, and he in some part of the sermon he cried. So I was impressed. Why? Because I had that kind of same attitude with my father. So later, I found that kind of inheritance. Another aspect of my temperament characteristic has been inherited epigenetics from my father, like in my mother's case. So at this moment, just I found that kind of deeper part, anger has been possessed, suppressed in my personality, and definitely I realized and I perceived that kind of things. It's kind of a process step of the restoration, I believe. But interesting idea is that today's scripture, now he's not the God of the dead, but of the living. For all people live to him, which means my ancestors and someone have passed away in God. Only their condition and the requirement is they are within God. Then our world has been created by myself. All world universe, you have your own universe and mine as mine. That in that world, not only the visual world, but also the kingdom of heaven. We have created the kingdom of heaven by the listening of the gospel of God. So in our universe, there is a kingdom of heaven, invisible world and the visual world at the same time. So on there, some of the part, the relationship, connectivity with my father and me has been still lasted, still existing. Even he is in another world. My faith has been improved because of his death. That's the wisdom. So there is connectivity with my dad because we have the connectivity and the relationship or unification with God. While God is existing in the world of the kingdom of heaven, transcendent world of the cause and reaction rule. So in that world, that is involved in our universe. So in our universe, not only the physical explanation existing, but also kind of transcendent understanding should be included in our universe, my own universe. So on there is a connectivity with those who have passed away a long time ago, like Abraham, David, Abraham, Noah, something like that. So when I gonna have the restoration of some kind of inherited epigenetically from my parents, if I gonna have the restoration from that part, that might affect some of the situation of my father in the kingdom of heaven. That's my idea, because there is connectivity in the transcendent world. So my father is the one who existing in my past, some of the inheritance as well. But in God, in the unification with God, if we have the restoration experience, that might affect the inheritance of the past, and on the contrary, that kind of inheritance change my characteristic on the converse. So in that meaning, some of the part of our situation, of our world, is transcendent to change our past. All of the physical world, there is a rule, cause and reaction, from the past through the current living, present time, and the future. There is no contradiction. But in our world, in our both of the visual and the invisible world, there is a converse, inverse and converse the direction flow to the past. Our solution and the restoration affect to our past through the transcendent world in the connection and the unification with the Lord. So this is, I think this is a new idea in the theology, but very necessary in our Christianity. Thank you. Thank you. You're a happy person.